Ladies and gentlemen, life has this incredible way of showing us that nothing goes unanswered. You ever felt wronged, broken, or hurt by someone so deeply you thought, why is this happening to me? But let me tell you, there's a universal law in motion, and it's called karma. It's not a human invention, it's divine truth. See, the pain that others put into the world, it's coming back to them. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but honey, it's on its way, because what you sow, you will reap. It's like throwing a boomerang. You can't send something out and not expect it to circle back around. But here's the thing, and I need you to lean in on this. The pain you've experienced wasn't just about punishment. It was about purpose. It was meant to teach you resilience, strength, and yes, even empathy. And while it's so tempting, so easy to want revenge, I'm here to tell you, don't waste your energy on it. Why? Because the best justice doesn't come from your hands. It comes from a power greater than all of us, a power that sees everything, every act, every word, every intention. Trust in that justice because it is fair. It's perfect. You might be thinking, but why hasn't it happened yet? Why do they seem to be living their best life while I'm still hurting? Oh, my friend, divine timing is something we'll never fully understand, but it's always right. The universe has a way of balancing itself, of making sure every debt is paid. Let me tell you this, your pain was not the end of your story. It was the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter where you rise above, where you grow stronger, where you let go of the burden of revenge. Because when you let go, you open your hands to receive blessings that are so much bigger than the pain you've endured. So trust the process. Trust that God, the universe, or whatever higher power you believe in is keeping score. And when the time comes, they will feel the weight of the very pain they inflicted. But here's the most powerful truth of all: when that moment comes, you won't even be looking back. You'll be too busy shining in the light of your own healing, your own success, your own peace. And that is how you win. Karma is a force that operates silently and impartially, a universal law that ensures balance in life. It's not something that requires your intervention, nor does it need you to dictate how it unfolds. It works on its own terms, in its own time, and in ways we often can't predict. But trust me when I say this, it never misses a mark. Every action we take sends ripples into the world, and those ripples eventually return to us. Whether it's kindness or cruelty, love or hate, what you put out into the universe shapes the energy that comes back to you. This is not some abstract idea, it's a truth we see everywhere. People who uplift others seem to attract goodness into their lives, while those who spread harm inevitably find themselves entangled in the very negativity they created. And here's the beauty of karma. It doesn't require you to keep score. You don't need to chase justice or revenge. Karma is always working, observing, and delivering. It's like planting a seed. You may not see it grow overnight, but give it time, and it will flourish. The same is true for the seeds of our actions. There's something deeply reassuring in knowing that karma is the ultimate judge. It doesn't care about appearances, excuses, or justifications. It doesn't play favorites or forget. It simply mirrors back to us the energy we've given to the world. And when you trust in that process, you can find peace even in the midst of pain. You can let go of the burden of retribution because you know the universe has already taken care of it. Karma reminds us to live with integrity, not just because we fear the consequences, but because it's how we create harmony in our lives and the lives of others. It's a quiet force, but its impact is profound and inescapable. When we understand this, we stop focusing on others' wrongdoings and start focusing on our own actions, knowing they hold the key to the life we want to build. Life is like a mirror reflecting back to us the energy, intentions, and actions we put into the world. It's a profound and often overlooked truth that what we project outwardly, whether it's love, kindness, anger, or pain, eventually finds its way back to us in some form. This reflection is not always immediate, and it may not always be obvious, but over time, life's mirror shows us a clear picture of who we are and how we've impacted the world around us. Think about it: when you treat someone with compassion, understanding, and respect, they often respond in kind. You create a ripple effect of positivity, and that energy amplifies, coming back to you in ways you might not expect. Similarly, when you act with negativity or malice, those actions cast a shadow, and eventually that shadow returns to your doorstep. This mirror effect is not about punishment or reward, it's about balance. Life has a way of holding us accountable, teaching us lessons through the experiences we create for ourselves and others. If we hurt someone, life has a way of presenting situations that allow us to feel the weight of that pain, not as a form of vengeance, but as an opportunity for growth and understanding. Conversely, when we uplift and support others, life reflects that goodness back to us, often magnified in ways that fill us with joy and gratitude. What makes this concept so powerful is that it puts the focus on personal responsibility. It reminds us that we are not passive participants in our lives, we are co-creators of our reality. The energy we emit sets the tone for the energy we attract. When we recognize this, we start to approach life with more intention and mindfulness. We begin to see that every interaction, every choice, and every word carries weight and significance. Life's mirror is also a tool for self-awareness. It shows us our strengths and flaws, not to shame or exalt us, but to guide us toward becoming our best selves. If we don't like the reflection we see, we have the power to change it by adjusting our actions, attitudes, and intentions. This reflection is ongoing and it's a gift. It gives us the chance to course correct, to make amends, and to grow. Life's mirror doesn't judge, it simply reflects. It's up to us to decide what kind of energy we want staring back at us. When we understand and embrace this truth, we not only transform our own lives, but also contribute to a more harmonious and compassionate world. The concept of universal balance is rooted in the idea that the universe operates on principles of harmony and equilibrium. Everything that happens, every action, thought, and emotion creates a ripple in the grand system of existence. These ripples may appear small or insignificant at first, but over time they contribute to the larger balance that the universe seeks to maintain. When someone does good, they add to the positive energy that keeps the world moving forward, and in turn, that positivity often finds its way back to them. Similarly, when harm is inflicted, it disrupts this balance, and the universe naturally works to correct it. This correction isn't always immediate or obvious, but it's inevitable. Like a scale that has been tipped, the universe gradually redistributes weight until harmony is restored. This balance isn't about punishment or reward, it's about justice in its purest, most impartial form. It's a system that transcends human rules and perspectives, operating on a level that ensures every action finds its counterbalance. If someone sows negativity, that negativity will eventually return to them in some form, not out of vengeance, but as a way to complete the cycle they initiated. What makes universal balance so profound is that it applies to everyone and everything. No one is exempt from its laws, no matter their power, status, or intentions. It holds us accountable in ways that human systems often cannot, ensuring that every choice and action has meaning and consequence. This balance also teaches us important lessons about humility and patience. When we feel wronged or see injustice, it's natural to want immediate resolution, but the universe operates on its own timeline. It reminds us that we don't always have to intervene or seek revenge because the scales are already in motion. By trusting this process, we free ourselves from the burden of holding on to anger or resentment, knowing that balance will eventually be restored. At the same time, universal balance challenges us to examine our own actions and energy. It asks us to consider the ripples we're creating with our choices. Are we contributing to harmony or disruption? Are we acting out of love or fear? Understanding this interconnectedness encourages us to be more mindful, knowing that every decision affects not just ourselves, but the greater whole. Universal balance is a reminder of the inherent order in what often feels like a chaotic world. It reassures us that no matter how unpredictable or unfair life may seem at times, there is a deeper rhythm at work, aligning everything to its rightful place. This understanding gives us peace, perspective, and a renewed commitment to live in alignment with the greater good. Pain is one of life's most profound teachers, shaping us in ways that comfort and ease never could. While it's natural to resist or fear pain, it carries within it the seeds of growth, transformation, and wisdom. Each moment of hardship, every heartbreak, and all the struggles we endure are opportunities to learn something vital about ourselves and the world around us. When pain enters our lives, it often forces us to confront truths we might otherwise ignore. It strips away illusions, exposing what truly matters. In these moments, we begin to understand our own resilience, the strength we never knew we had until we were tested. Pain teaches us that we are far more capable than we often give ourselves credit for, and that survival and ultimately thriving is possible even in the darkest times. Pain also brings clarity. It sharpens our awareness of our priorities, relationships, and purpose. What once seemed urgent or significant may pale in comparison to the lessons pain reveals. It teaches us to value moments of peace, love, and joy, and to cherish the people who stand by us when times get tough. Moreover, pain cultivates empathy. Experiencing hardship deepens our understanding of others' struggles, making us more compassionate and less judgmental. It bridges the gap between people, reminding us of our shared humanity. When we felt the sting of loss, betrayal, or failure, we are more likely to offer support and kindness to those walking similar paths. Another powerful lesson pain imparts is the importance of letting go. Often we cling to things, relationships, expectations, or beliefs that no longer serve us. Pain forces us to release what weighs us down, creating space for new beginnings. It teaches us that healing isn't about erasing the hurt, but about learning to carry it with grace and turning it into something meaningful. Pain also shows us the value of patience. Healing takes time, and the lessons it offers don't always reveal themselves immediately. It requires us to sit with discomfort, to be still, and to trust that clarity and strength will emerge in time. This patience fosters a deeper connection with ourselves, teaching us to listen to our hearts and honor our emotions. Ultimately, pain reminds us that life is a cycle of highs and lows. It's a natural part of the human experience, one that shapes us into more complete, more aware beings. While we might never wish for pain, when it does come, it offers us a chance to evolve, to rise, and to discover a deeper sense of purpose and peace. Through pain, we learn not just to endure, but to grow, becoming more than we were before. Empathy is often seen as a soft, passive quality, but in truth, it is one of the most profound sources of strength a person can possess. To truly empathize means to step outside of your own perspective and connect with someone else's experiences, emotions, and struggles. It requires courage to feel deeply, especially in a world that often encourages detachment. Yet this ability to understand and share another's feelings is a transformative power that can heal, inspire, and create change. Empathy builds bridges where there are walls. It allows us to see beyond our own pain and recognize the humanity in others, even when it's difficult. When someone wrongs us or causes harm, our instinct might be to react with anger or vengeance, but empathy challenges us to dig deeper. It helps us understand that hurt people often hurt others, and that their actions might stem from their own unresolved pain. This doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it gives us the perspective needed to respond with wisdom rather than retaliation. Through empathy, we gain the ability to diffuse conflicts and foster connection. It becomes a tool for reconciliation, allowing us to address wounds with understanding rather than judgment. When we approach others with compassion, we create space for healing, not just for them, but for ourselves. Holding on to resentment or anger drains our energy, but choosing empathy releases us from that burden and empowers us to move forward with peace. Empathy also unlocks the power of vulnerability, which is often mistaken for weakness, but is actually a source of great strength. To be empathetic is to be open, to let down walls and truly feel not only for others, but with them. In doing so, we forge deeper, more meaningful relationships. We become a source of support and inspiration, showing others that they are not alone in their struggles. Moreover, empathy drives action. It compels us to stand up against injustice, to lend a helping hand, and to contribute to a better world. When we empathize with those who are suffering, we are motivated to use our own strengths and resources to make a difference. This kind of action, rooted in understanding and care, has a ripple effect that touches countless lives. At its core, empathy is the power to transform pain into connection and adversity into growth. It reminds us that we are all part of the same human experience, interconnected in ways that go beyond our differences. In a world that can often feel divided, empathy is the force that unites us, making us stronger together. It is not a weakness to feel deeply, it is the ultimate strength, one that has the potential to change not only individual lives, but entire communities. The timing of justice is one of life's most profound mysteries. When we are wronged, when someone causes us pain or acts unfairly, it's natural to crave immediate resolution. We want to see things set right, for fairness to prevail, and for those who have hurt us to face the consequences of their actions. Yet justice, particularly divine or universal justice, operates on a timeline far beyond our understanding. It doesn't rush and it doesn't falter, it comes exactly when it is meant to. In the midst of our hurt, it's easy to feel like justice is delayed or forgotten. We might look at those who have wronged us and wonder why they seem to thrive while we are left to pick up the pieces. But justice is not about instant gratification, it's about balance, and achieving that balance often requires a complexity of events and circumstances that we can't immediately see. Trusting the timing of justice requires patience and faith. It asks us to let go of our need for control, to resist the urge to force outcomes, and to believe in the greater process at work. This isn't about passivity or giving up, it's about understanding that justice, when it comes, will be complete and unshakable. It won't be swayed by bias or limited by human perception, it will simply be right. Justice often takes time because it's about more than punishment, it's about lessons. Those who cause harm are often given opportunities to change, to reflect on their actions, and to grow. The delay in justice isn't a sign of absence, but of grace, a chance for redemption. And while that can be frustrating to those who have been hurt, it's also a testament to the fairness of universal law. Everyone is given the chance to learn and make amends. For the one who has been wronged, the waiting period can feel endless, but it is not without purpose. During this time, we are given the opportunity to heal, to grow stronger, and to redefine our paths without being consumed by bitterness. The process of waiting teaches us resilience and fortifies our character. It allows us to rise above the pain, so when justice does arrive, we are no longer defined by the hurt we endured. When justice comes, it often arrives in ways we least expect. It may not look like revenge or a dramatic reckoning. Instead, it might manifest as a quiet, undeniable balancing of scales. Those who have caused harm will face the consequences of their actions, not on our schedule, but in the precise moment that aligns with the greater order of life. In trusting the timing of justice, we find freedom. We release ourselves from the heavy burden of anger and the exhausting need to monitor the actions of others. We allow the universe or the divine to handle what we cannot. And in doing so, we make space for our own healing, happiness, and peace, knowing that justice, though it may take its time, is always on its way. Healing by letting go is a transformative process that allows us to release the weight of pain, anger, and resentment. Holding on to hurt can feel like a form of control, as though clinging to the memory or the injustice will protect us from further harm. But in reality, holding on keeps us tethered to the very source of our suffering, preventing us from moving forward and fully experiencing life. Letting go is not about forgetting or excusing what happened, it's about freeing ourselves from its hold. When we let go, we reclaim our power. Painful experiences often leave us feeling helpless or trapped. But choosing to release those emotions shifts the focus back to our own agency. It's a declaration that while we cannot change the past, we can decide how much influence it has over our present and future. Letting go is not weakness, it's an act of strength and self-respect. The process of letting go begins with acceptance. This doesn't mean agreeing with or condoning what happened, it means acknowledging the reality of the situation. It's about recognizing that no amount of anger or dwelling will alter the past. Acceptance creates the foundation for healing by allowing us to stop resisting and start working toward peace. Letting go also involves forgiveness, but not necessarily for the sake of the other person. Forgiveness is a gift we give ourselves. It's the act of saying, I refuse to let what you did define my life any longer. Forgiveness is about releasing the emotional chains that keep us bound to the pain, giving ourselves permission to move forward unburdened. As we let go, we make room for growth and renewal. Holding on to pain takes up emotional and mental space, leaving little room for joy, love, or new opportunities. When we release the negativity, we create space for positive experiences and connections. We begin to see life not through the lens of what was taken from us, but through the possibilities of what lies ahead. Letting go doesn't mean the pain disappears overnight. It's a journey, and it's okay to take it one step at a time. Healing is not linear, and there will be moments when old wounds resurface, but each step we take toward release brings us closer to freedom and wholeness. Healing by letting go is about choosing ourselves. It's about prioritizing our peace over the pain someone else caused us. It's about saying, I deserve to heal, and I will no longer carry this weight. In that choice, we find liberation, allowing us to live fully and authentically, unshackled by the past. Trusting in divine justice means believing that there is a higher power or universal order that ensures fairness and balance, even when life feels unfair or chaotic. It is an act of faith, a surrender to the idea that justice operates on a timeline and in ways beyond human understanding. This trust requires patience, humility, and the strength to let go of the need to control outcomes or seek retribution. When we experience injustice, it's natural to feel anger, frustration, or even despair. We may wonder why those who hurt us seem to escape accountability, or why fairness seems absent in certain situations. Trusting in divine justice reminds us that what we see is not the full story. There is a larger picture at play, one that unfolds with precision and purpose, even if it's not immediately visible to us. Divine justice is not driven by emotions, biases, or human notions of punishment. It is impartial and absolute, ensuring that every action and intention is met with an appropriate response. This process often involves lessons rather than instant consequences. Those who cause harm may be given opportunities to recognize their mistakes and grow from them. While this can be difficult for those who were wronged, it's a testament to the fairness and grace of divine justice. For those who trust in this higher order, the burden of vengeance is lifted. You no longer have to carry the weight of resentment or the exhausting desire to see someone get what they deserve. Trusting in divine justice allows you to focus on your own healing and growth, knowing that balance will be restored in due time. This trust also brings peace. Instead of being consumed by anger or the need to fix what feels broken, you can rest in the assurance that justice will come. It may not look the way you imagined, and it may not happen when you want it to, but it will arrive exactly when and how it is meant to. Divine justice often aligns with a deeper purpose. Sometimes the justice we seek for others is intertwined with the lessons we need to learn ourselves. It's through this trust that we develop resilience, patience, and the ability to rise above the circumstances that hurt us. Trusting in divine justice is about letting go of control and surrendering to the wisdom of a higher power. It's a reminder that nothing is overlooked, no act is forgotten, and no pain is in vain. By trusting in this divine order, we free ourselves from bitterness and create space for healing, growth, and the blessings that come with choosing peace over revenge. Every action we take, no matter how small, creates ripples that extend far beyond what we can see. These ripples influence the lives of others, shape our environment, and ultimately return to us, often magnified. The ripple of actions is a reminder that we are deeply interconnected, and our choices carry a weight that resonates in ways we may not immediately realize. When we act with kindness, the ripples we create spread positivity and encouragement. A simple act of generosity or a kind word can brighten someone's day, which in turn can inspire them to pass that kindness along to others. This chain reaction creates a wave of goodwill, often reaching people we may never meet. Similarly, when we act out of anger, selfishness, or harm, those negative ripples can create cycles of pain and discord, spreading far beyond the initial moment of impact. The ripple effect teaches us that our actions have consequences, not just for ourselves, but for the world around us. It encourages mindfulness and responsibility, reminding us to consider the potential outcomes of our words and deeds. Even when we think our actions are insignificant, they can set off a series of events that shape lives in ways we might never imagine. These ripples also reflect the interconnectedness of humanity. What we do affects others just as their actions affect us. When we recognize this, we start to approach life with greater empathy and awareness. We begin to see that by uplifting others, we uplift ourselves, and by causing harm, we ultimately harm ourselves too. The beauty of the ripple effect is that it offers endless opportunities to create positive change. Each day presents countless moments where we can choose to be a source of light or darkness. Even small actions, a smile, a gesture of help, a moment of patience can set into motion ripples that touch lives and build a legacy of goodness. At the same time, the ripple of action serves as a reminder of accountability. We cannot escape the consequences of what we put into the world. Whether those ripples bring joy or challenge, they will eventually circle back to us. This realization is not meant to instill fear, but to empower us to act with intention, knowing that the energy we create will return. The ripple of actions underscores the power we hold to influence the world. By choosing kindness, love, and integrity, we can create ripples that inspire, heal, and connect. These ripples, though they may start small, have the potential to grow into waves of positive change, leaving an impact far greater than we can imagine. Rising above is the process of transcending life's challenges, obstacles, and setbacks, choosing to move forward with strength, grace, and determination. It is not about ignoring pain or pretending that difficulties don't exist. Rather, it is about facing those challenges head-on, learning from them, and choosing to emerge stronger and more resilient. Rising above requires a mindset that sees beyond the immediate frustration or hurt, allowing us to tap into our inner strength and pursue a higher path. When we rise above, we refuse to let our circumstances define us. Whether we are facing personal loss, betrayal, or failure, it's easy to get lost in the weight of it all. Yet, rising above means taking the higher road, choosing not to be consumed by the negative emotions or situations that threaten to hold us down. It's about not letting the difficulties of life determine the trajectory of our spirit. This process often requires us to shift our perspective. Instead of focusing on what went wrong or what we've lost, we start to focus on what we've learned, how we've grown, and the new opportunities that await us. Rising above is about embracing change and using it as a catalyst for growth. Even the most painful experiences can teach us valuable lessons that shape us into more complete and compassionate beings. Rising above also involves letting go of things we cannot control, whether it's the actions of others or the course of events that are beyond our influence. By releasing our need to control every outcome, we free ourselves from frustration and open ourselves up to greater possibilities. It's an acknowledgement that life is unpredictable, and instead of resisting it, we can find peace in the flow of it. To rise above is to rise in spirit, to move from a place of hurt or limitation to a place of strength and possibility. It requires courage to move forward when the path seems uncertain, to take the next step even when fear or doubt tries to hold us back. It is about having the faith that no matter how difficult the journey, we are capable of overcoming and achieving more than we might have thought possible. Rising above is also about resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity. Life's setbacks are not the end of the story, but rather they are part of the process that leads to greater wisdom, compassion, and strength. By rising above, we create a foundation that allows us to stand firm in the face of future challenges, knowing that we are equipped to handle whatever comes our way. Ultimately, rising above is about reclaiming our power. It is about choosing to be a force for good in the world despite the obstacles we face. It's about standing tall in our truth and not allowing life's hardships to diminish our light. When we rise above, we inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of strength, courage, and perseverance that spreads far beyond ourselves.